Do, 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 do.
Hi, everyone. It's Cory.
Welcome back to
Lee Brice.
Scatting with Lee Brice, where we teach you to scat as only Lee Brice can.
What's up?
Hey, how are
y'all
you?
doing?
Good.
Are you at Darius Rucker's house? Because he has those same throw pillows.
You know what? So it's actually a funny story. I'm actually at my manager's house, and the reason for that is because I literally could throw a rock as hard as I can that way, and that's my house. And when all this started, you know, we couldn't go like anywhere, so like we were like quarantined between the two houses, and so I started coming over here to like do these kind of things. And because he has like this extra room, you know, he's got a real big house and my house is tiny. And so we would sit here and we set up. So basically we set up shop. I have a whole closet over here. I mean, it's just kind of like my studio, but video studio. But he loves it whenever he wakes up in the morning and I'm having coffee in his kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
How do you get into
it? It was like one of them girlfriend things where he goes, "Listen, I'm going to give you a couple of drawers to start out, and then later maybe a closet."
Oh no, I've got about half the house now for sure.
Oh, that's
you know what? You know what I learned from that story? You need to re-examine his contract. That's what
I'm going to start writing you a new one now.
Yeah, he might need to re-examine it. I mean, you know, look, I got the good end of this deal.
I don't know, man. He should be in a 2-bedroom walk-up in Knoxville.
That way you'd have some privacy at least.
Walk up. I love it.
Wait a minute, Cory. I haven't sanitized my hands, so let me get my
whoa. Where did you get that little tiny water hand sanitizer bottle from with my name on it?
I swear to God, right when this started, March or April,
man.
Your label sent us 3 boxes, and every one of them had 250 Lee Brice Country 92.5 sanitizers. It was like they sent me gold.
I was like, where's my box of Lee Brice hand sanitizer?
How do you not have any? You don't understand. I handed them out to my kids' school. I'm like, here, pass them out to all the kids.
Honestly.
They're very popular here.
If you would have said last year we're going to send you Lee Brice, I'd go, well, that cheap bastard.
Yeah.
When it happened, it was like, I said, oh my God.
I mean, that could be a really good merch item, I think, right now. If I was on the road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been very fortunate. You know, Enzo's been beating the bushes and we've been playing a good bit. Like there's a lot of my friends and artists have not played at all. And they're like, I haven't played a show since March. And I'm like, man, I don't know how you do that because number one, you know, we got people to take care of and we, you know, and families, I got my family and then I got my band family that has families. And so, I mean, you know, we've done some drive-ins and we've done some kind of, you know, the cattle call where they put everybody in ropes, you know, like you can only stay in your area. And I've done some acoustic things and some private, like I did a wedding, like on a golf course where there was like 100 people, but it was over like the whole par 5. You know what I mean?
Wow, nice. That's great.
You know, and it's different. It's
10 years into the industry, and he's back playing weddings again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I do have the wedding song. You know, one of the good wedding songs out there.
You kind of do. I'm glad. That makes me so happy. We have talked to so many artists who have said. You know, stop drinking the hand sanitizer, Damon. Said that they have had to, like, their bands are going out and like landscaping and I mean, doing something. You have to do something. You know, you can't not work and not get money. So I am so happy to hear you say that. Yeah,
and it's been, and obviously that's the biggest piece of. You know, we want to play music and gosh, some of these we played a few here with the full band lately, and God, man, you're talking about a good feeling to get back on the stage and have the lights, and even though it was different, you know, people are sitting because they are not allowed to stand and they're in a little space, but God, man, it felt so good. And like we did our first show and it was over and we were like, dude, we should have played like 20 more songs. Like it just went by so fast, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you're lucky. When we talked to them, Maddie apparently had to sell Tay for a while. That's how bad it was.
well, you got to make ends meet somehow.
She pawned Tay, and
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
hard times, man.
That's not true. That's basically, we spend our whole show me going, that's not true. So you have finally, though, after how many years, gotten to stay home with your family, though. That must have been kind of awesome at first, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, I was kind of talking about that a while back, and so many folks in certain areas, like in a big city, they don't really have a whole lot of a silver lining in this. You know what I mean? I know it's a different situation. But I've been able to like go out to my farm and with my kids all spring, all summer, into the fall, every single day. And that would have never, I mean, summertime, I'm gone normally. You know what I mean? Gone. And so I told somebody the other day, I was like, I feel like we might even look back someday as a family and go, that was the best summer we ever had, because we spent every moment of every day together doing that, like all the little things, that I didn't have to like squeeze in to teach them. Like all my boys are growing to an age to where I can teach them how to hook up a trailer to a truck, or to change the tire, or to chop down, this tree fell during the storm, we're going to cut it up, we're going to stack the wood, we're going to, all the things that like. And so now I catch them, I was like wondering where they were the other day. I was like, God, they've been gone for like an hour. And then I saw them, I'm like, what y'all been doing? Just digging a hole. I was like, all right.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Building a ramp, and so, it's those things.
As long as Truly wasn't in it. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Do not bury your sister again. I will not have it.
You were not going to have it.
That's awful.
She is honestly sweet, by the way. I've got a 4-year-old, and I know she's what, 3?
Ooh, she's 3, yeah.
3 going on what?
I know
3 going on about
30.
23.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, she changes her dresses like she's got like a box, and it's only about this big, but it seemed like I bet it's got 7 little dresses in it, And she'll change them all every day.
Oh yeah.
All the time. I wrote a song about it 2 days ago, and it's like, it's just, she's so much smarter. Girls, I didn't realize it till her, that girls are really, truly, just literally so much smarter than guys. I just didn't know, like, because like Riker still asked me how to put his socks on, and I'm going, son, you're about to be 7 years old.
Yeah.
Your sister is 3, and she changes her dresses. She comes out dressed, brushes her teeth, brushes her hair. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And so but I just determined that girls are just smarter than guys.
It is. It's the male gene.
And natural actresses. My daughter, when she doesn't want to eat something, turns into Meryl Streep. It's beautiful. Broccoli. Broccoli. I love it.
But you ate that yesterday. But yesterday it tasted good.
Different today.
See, my daughter would go, Father, the way you put on my socks, it's magical. Could you do it?
Can't you do it?
Please, sir.
And then of course you can. Of course. Maybe of whatever you need. That's what's different between her and the boys. When she asked me to do something, and I'm like,
you jump.
Normally, no. With her, I do. That's what I'm saying. Like if Riker asked me or Dakota, I'll be like, boy, boy changed. The song boy. It changed from boy. It's like boy, boy, and like I'm like, go figure it out, son. Come on, like grow up, get to be. And then with her, she's like, Daddy, can I have a popsicle? Or ice cream? I'm like, it's 9 o'clock at night, baby. You can't. That's not what we do. But really, I mean, okay.
Your wife must be like, not again.
Cory, have you seen the video of Hey World with his daughter in it on the porch swing?
Oh man,
it wrecks me.
She does that thing. She twirls around in those dresses, and she loves to dance and sing, and she's something else, man. Sorry, I mean, I thought we were interviewing me. I mean, this is all about Truly now.
It kind of is, you know.
Since we moved over,
It really is all about Truly.
Yeah,
since we
really is.
moved over to the song, honestly, I mean, I got to ask: was this written because of the time we're going through, or is it one of those things that just matched up so perfectly you had no idea it would ring so true?
It came from a moment, and I'll tell you the moment, but as we were writing it, we wanted it to be. It was clear to us that it was like, you know, our point of the song could have mattered just as much 5 years ago or 5 years from now. You know, everybody at times just wants the noise to shut out, the world to shut out, and have a minute and like just be here and just leave me alone, you know. But the moment that the song originated from, Dallas, one of my co-writers, he's like written like, I don't know, 40 number ones. It's crazy,
right?
But
just a couple.
He's a great friend. We came to town at the same time. We're like we've been best friends with all of us, me and him and Jared Neiman and Jamie Johnson and Randy Hauser. We just kind of were a pack, you know what I mean? And we are still. And but we were writing, and Dallas said, he said, well, boys, I don't know. And it was on a Zoom right like this, and I'd never done one. It was our first time, and it was just at the very beginning of all that, right? And Dallas said, well, I don't know, you know, what you want to write about. I said, I don't know yet. Let's talk about it. And he said, well, I can tell you what happened this morning. He said, I don't know if it's a song, but he said, I was watching the news this morning about 7 o'clock. And he said, little Dow, who's 4, little Dow came walking in and said, Daddy, he said, can you turn the TV off? And Dallas was like, well, I mean, I can, but like, why? Like, what's wrong? You know, he was watching the news. And little Dallas said, well, it's scaring me.
Oh.
And, you know, Dallas is watching, and it was saying, you know, so many deaths and so many, you know, cases, and this is coming and blah, blah, blah. And it was scaring an adult, much less a 4-year-old, you know. And so Dallas just kind of hit Dallas in that moment, you know, hey, world, leave me alone. I'm going to turn the TV off. There ain't nothing but bad news on in that moment. And so that's what he had, that. But we took, so yes, it came from that, but I still think that, you know, in a normal, which, you know, who knows what that's going to be, but in a regular world, I think everybody at times just needs a minute to shut the noise out and just, and that's why I love to like go fishing and go hunting and have time to myself and just out in nature. So it came from that, but I definitely think it's a song that transcends it.
That works in reverse, by the way. Every time I walk in and my son's watching Paw Patrol, I say, can you turn that off? It's upsetting me.
It's upsetting me.
Again.
Paw Patrol, up there on the double.
The kid is like 8 years old. Where did he get this stuff?
At least they're learning trigonometry.
Yeah.
You know, when they're 3 and 4.
They are?
And the fact
they're learning physics. I mean,
it does.
Riker's like, Daddy, so like there's not enough kinetic energy in that too. I'm like, what?
All I learned is that for some reason Mayor Humdinger gets away with felonies every time.
Yeah.
They never lock him up.
We'll file a complaint with the network.
Song. It really is just a beautiful. I mean, the first video with Blessing in it was just wow. But then you had your kids, and I'm like, now I got to switch between the two. You know?
Yeah, Blessing. By the way, man, he is something special, and that was such a cool thing to kind of just stumble upon. You know, my manager was like, man, he was talking to another manager who happens to manage Blessing, but he was talking about another artist and some other stuff. And I had mentioned, you know, thinking about having somebody else on the song, like playing another piano and having a whole, just 2 different worlds, kind of like, but thinking the same thing and feeling the same way, you know? And, he goes, hey man, just listen to this artist that I heard today. He's like, and as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh, I don't care who that is. I love him, and I want to meet him, and I want him to sing on Hey World. Do you think they'll sing on Hey World? And he said, I mean, I guess he would. I don't know. And so I had no idea actually at the time that he had been on The Voice, I guess, and done all that stuff. And I didn't know any of that. All I knew was I wanted this voice to be on this song. And I got to talking to him on the phone and he wanted to do it, and he sent me over a vocal because that's how we had to do this ends of these records like during this time, is send stuff, like do it at your house and send it. And then I got to meet him, and it was like we had been soul brothers, known each other for our whole life,
awesome. That's so great.
So he's a special artist and person and human being. And anyway, that's such a, I mean, no pun intended, but it was such a blessing to have him around, on that song.
How did you end up with a duet with Carly? How did that all come about?
That was kind of that was a thing to where Carly had asked her manager if I would, if I would maybe sing a song with her. So her manager called Enzo, his name. That's, by the way, that's my manager. We've been talking about him a lot on this interview.
Yep,
but Enzo called and go, "Hey, Carly is wondering, would you ever be interested in doing a duet?" And I said, "Well, I mean, yeah, I love Carly. I mean, I'd seen her on multiple shows and like festivals and things we've done, and then we had just done a couple of like guitar pulls. You know how we do,
yeah."
And so I knew, I was like, she's extremely talented. She's awesome. She's cool. We'd hung out a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I said, but it really depends on the song more than that. I said, cause she's totally awesome,
Yeah.
And cause I'm a song guy, I really pick
right.
what I put out there. And so they sent over the song, and I mean, I didn't even get like through the whole first course, and I was like, I am in, because it like took me straight back to like straight old school 90s,
right?
Real deal duet. Like, yeah. I was like, yes. I was like, are you kidding me? So
awesome.
I was like, I'm in. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, can you do the vocal yesterday? And I was like, and at the time I was on the road and I wasn't coming home for like 6 weeks.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I can, but I can't come home. But I happen to have a full studio on my bus.
Wow.
And so I sent them, I did a vocal right then and there and sent it to them. And she made a couple notes, which basically was, "Hey, Lee, I love this. And it sounds awesome, by the way, as far as like quality, this will work. This will be great. But like, can you sing more like, can you give me that lead thing?" And I was like, well, because I was listening to Luke Combs, he was singing on the demo. He wrote the song.
Yeah,
and I had no direction. I was just singing kind of like Luke, and she said, "Can I hear that Lee Brice thing?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is really." She goes, "Yeah, you do." She's I said, I said, "How about this?" I said, "I'll sing it like exactly how I would have sung it if it was my song that I wrote." And I did that, and it was over. It was done. It was like, I sent it to her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect." And it's weird. She's like, I was writing the song, and I was just thinking about your voice the whole time, thinking, I think Lee Brice would be the person, which to this day, I don't understand. She's sitting there with Luke Combs writing a great song, an amazing song, great singer. And, but now I got to be the fortunate guy to be, on that song. And man, it sure did do awesome.
Right. Yeah. I was amazed when I first heard it. I'm like, wait, you're doing a duet with Lee Brice. That's awesome. It's so good to have you back on the radio. Like, to hear you every day. I mean, other than, we're always playing all your hits, but I'm like, man, you just have this very pure voice. So it's good to have you back.
Well, it's good to be back in here. And, I mean, gosh, sitting at number one, it's like this big momentum thing that's been happening ever since Rumor. It's like, it's just kind of snowballing. And so I'm just continuing it on as hard as I can. And we just turn in the record. It'll be out. The new album will be out like middle of November 10, I think.
Oh, good.
And it's smoking. So
wait. Listen to this. Listen to what it says. Because this, I mean, you got range, brother, but here's what it says. The twangy power pop of Good Old Boys, the old school R&B behind Don't Need No Reason, the bluesy sexual tone of Do Not Disturb, the new wave tech flavor of soul, the dark and dangerous Sons and Daughters, and finally the honky tonk middle finger in If You.
If you don't like our drinking, if you don't like our trucks.
Woo! Yeah.
If you don't like our rifles, buddy, we don't give a buck.
I love it.
Right?
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm like reading that. And I'm like, he's the guy who's got the range to do that. It will be all those things. They're not just spewing out junk. It's gonna be. I couldn't. It's not out. I want to see what middle finger honky tonk is. Couldn't find it.
All right, I'm going to tell you this. I'm okay. You opened for a show at the Xfinity Theater in Hartford. I'm not going to say who you opened for. I don't need to. And we were good. After you took us down the road, we had our time. We had a moment. We were complete with the Lee Brice show. We could have left then. We didn't even need the headliner. I just want to tell you that. That's the kind of show you put on.
Well, that means the world. And we, as in myself and my band, who are my family, we've been together, I think 17, 18 years going on now. We take pride in it and we love it. So to hear that, it means a lot. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you, it was Rodney Atkins and Shenandoah. That's who it was.
It was not Shenandoah.
I love it, Shenandoah now.
And I stayed out there.
They have a new song out too.
She was with you, and I said, I'm staying out for the headliners. You can go hang out with Mr. Warm-Up Band.
I like him. I'm here for Lee Brice. I am here for Lee Brice, and I'm going to go home.
Right.
One more thing before you sing, and I have to tell you, obviously, the song "Hey World" is great, but when you pair that with the acoustic version of "Blessed" with your brother, those two songs will heal your soul.
Lewis, he is he's on fire, and we're continuing to make music with him, and we're putting out song after song, and he's got one out right now that is just smoking called "It's You," and he's working so hard, and he's focused, and we came from the same, we came from the same blood, we came from the same household. Our daddy put in us a very work ethic. You play football, growing up playing football, you don't give up in the fourth quarter. You continue you push through, and you persevere, and determination was what my word my mom always used. Be determined, boy, be determined, And so he's just determined, and he's talented, and I'm proud of seeing what Lewis has been doing, and I'm proud to be working with him.
Now that I think of it, that was on your bus, so that was probably your studio.
That's the studio. That's right.
I have an acoustic bathroom.
That's what I grew up singing in. When I was in my kitchen, I don't know. It sounds so good when you're singing in a bathroom or like a staircase, or
when she's running late, she'll call me on the phone from her Ford Festiva. So that's kind of a studio in her car.
I don't drive that Ford Festiva. I do not drive that.
Muffler's falling off.
I love how you said.
Not true.
I spent half the show saying, no, that's not right.
I do. That's our show. You want to know the Damon Cory show? He tells stories. I go, that never happened. There you go. That's the whole thing. That's our shtick. I don't have 12 children.
Here's an example. I'm going to sue you because the song Rumors, that's what I did in high school to get dates. I would just start these. I'd say, listen, Cindy, it's already going around. You might as well play it through.
I'm sure that worked really well for you.
When he wasn't getting beat up with his own saxophone.
10 times.
Right, Tay?
Yeah, didn't work at all, man. I took my mother to prom. Thanks for bringing that up.
Pain. Oh, the pain. All right. What do you want to sing for us? You pick.
Well, heck, he just said a song. We got to do that. We got to do that song, right?
Can we? Okay, we would love that.
We get a little bit of that soul starting it out, right?
I love